this story today. And I'm going to read this one. My Tree. So let's see who wrote this book and who did the pictures or illustration. This is the first page of this book. In the backyard of our new home stood an old tree. Tall, crooked, quiet. It reminded me of my persimmon tree that shaded our porch in Korea. So Korea is a country in Asia. Deep purple plums dotted every branch. So I named her Plummy. So who's telling us the story? Here, look. This little person is telling us the story. Let's turn the page again. I watered her, climbed on her, and found a perfect spot to hide and spy until everyone wondered where I was. So here is on the tree, hiding from others, right? Let's turn the page again. Look here, our little person is under the tree, lying on the grass with a pet, right? I spent my first day in America with Plummy, and she became my tree. Whenever I missed my home in Korea, Plummy lifted me up, and I played on her branches. Here, so this is a big tree, and it has lots of branches. You can see our little persons, Plummy, in different season. In the spring, I celebrated my birthday under her blooming white flower. So it's in spring. Look, all the blooming white flowers. And here, you see, green, right? In the summer, I watched the sky through her thick green leaves, lying under the tree and looking through these green leaves to the sky. And after summer, what comes? Fall, right? So in the fall, I picked purple plums and shared them with neighbors. Fall plums are ready to eat, right? And they become purple color. So we can eat at that time. So our little person is not just eating plums, also sharing with neighbors. And after fall, what season comes? Winter. Yes. So in winter, look, this is in winter. In the winter, I listened to the wind whistling through her dark brown branches. Let's turn the page. Plummy made me feel at home. Huggy Plummy. Let's turn the page again. So here on this page, our little person is here, right? And here is the Plummy. One spring night, a rainstorm with high winds swept through the city and knocked down many trees, old and new. So strong winds in a stormy night knocked down lots of old and new trees in our little person's city. Plummy fell down that night. Would you like to see what happened to Plummy? Look, her root came off the earth. The next morning, I saw Plummy lying in the middle of the yard because it fell, right? It fell on the ground. Away from the house, away from the deck, and away from the fence. So it just fell in the middle of the yard. Her roots were pulled out of the earth, all out and sad. An old tree knows how to lie down when it's time. My grandma had told me in Korea. Grandma told that the old tree knows how to lie down when it's time. So Plummy was old too. That's why it fell in the middle of it. It didn't fall on fence, roof, or any other spot, right? I climbed on Plummy and stood on her here, standing on fallen Plummy. How immense she looked under my feet. Look here. Yes, she does. She looks very big, right? Wide and huge. So let's turn the page. So this is the other page. For days she turned into everything I wished for. A tree house, a rocket. A tree house, a rocket, island. Pretend, play here, right? A sheep. Neighborhood kids joined in. So all of them there playing together. And Plummy is a sheep. And we all had fun. So in their pretend play, they were all having lots of fun. So on this page, what do we see? They're still playing on Plummy. Until a little boy scratched his arm and cried. So here we see the little boy got hurt. And then it was time for Plummy to go. It's not safe anymore to play on Plummy. Let's turn the page. The next day, Plummy was hauled away. Without Plummy, everything felt different. No more white flowers, no more green leaves, no more purple plums or whistling wind, and no more secret hiding place because Plummy is gone, right? So here, our little person is sad, right? Let's turn the page. So on this page, in the middle of the yard, I stood alone. Remembering Plummy, tall, crooked, quiet. So here on this page, what do we see? An adult talking to our little person. Daddy, I miss Plummy. Daddy nodded and squeezed my hand. A few days later, we planted a new plum tree. Short and straight in Plummy's old place. I watered her and patted down the soil. I wondered if she would ever know an old tree once stood where her roots were spreading. I watered her more and she grew little by little. So we have to water our plant to grow, right? So our little person here, look, watering the new plum tree. Then one spring day, I saw something familiar. The new plum tree had her first blossoms. Fresh white flowers dotted every branch and fluttered in the breeze. The new tree was short and straight, but adorned in milky petals. She stood quite like Plummy, another plum tree, growing like the old one. So here on the other page, I whispered. So our little person said hello to the new plum tree. Let's turn the page. In the backyard of our home stands a young plum tree. I water her and watch her grow tall and strong and strong. And I feel right at home. So this little person was really sad when the old plum tree fell down. But then they planted a new one, right? Daddy said there will be a new plum tree, right? And they watered the plant properly so the plant grew fast. And now a little one, but this little tree has its flower and yes, plum, right? So this little tree is going to give our little person flowers, green shade and fruits, plum, right? Bye-bye.